Let's get ready with me together while I talk to you guys about my anxiety, because I feel like it's been a long time since I've done that. So basically, if you're new here, I have OCD and anxiety, and it was mostly very much in check until I did IVF a few months ago, and I feel like since then I have not really been okay, and I've really been struggling, and yeah, it kind of sucks. And you would think that like the entire internet calling me a whore and like just being in a really toxic environment like would have been the thing that got to me, but it actually wasn't. Like I was like definitely anxious, don't get me wrong, during that time. I was like mostly fine like once we were out of that toxic environment, and I was like, oh my god, like everything feels so much lighter, everything feels so much happier. Now it's just been like post IVF, I feel like my hormones have been like playing catch up. I just feel like something feels off. And for PCOS girlies, and I know girlies that struggle with PMDD, like any like hormonal shift can feel like so much, especially me. Like I'm super sensitive to even like any slight medication changes, so it's just been a lot for me. And I'll be honest too, I feel like I haven't been helping myself in the way that I should. Actually no, because that feels very self-critical. I feel like I've been trying my best, but I just haven't been prioritizing like seeing my doctors. I have so many amazing doctors. I could have done blood work like a month ago, and I just was hoping it would correct, and it hasn't. By the way, I don't have any skin retouch on or any filters, so this is like completely like natural skin. Because I'm on 20 milligrams of Lexapro, like that is helping tremendously and shouldering a lot of this burden. But I've been feeling like physically anxious, like in my body I get like this tightness like right here in my solar plexus, and it's so uncomfortable. I'm so much better now than I was. Like I don't like this feeling anymore, so tolerating it for the past like few weeks that I have, well actually longer than that, like 3 months really, it doesn't feel tolerable anymore. It's gone on too long and I can't like ignore it anymore, and I think I was hoping like it would like snap back like a rubber band, and it really hasn't. These are the things that I've been doing though that I think have been helping me, which is adding a beta blocker. For me that's propanolol 20 milligrams at night, theanine and GABA supplements that I get from Thorne because I like trust their quality, and seeing my therapist once a week is like a non-negotiable for me. Unless like I have something, I pretty much always see her. Even she's been noticing like usually I'm like really relaxed in our sessions because I've known her for so long, appearing much more jittery than I usually am. So that being said, I'm just trying to like handle everything the best that I can, and like spending a lot of time with my friends, going on date nights, shopping, and like, so if you're struggling like me, you're definitely not alone. But I need like my mental health to get right because it's already June and I'm not gonna be like an anxious girly in the Hamptons and like, no, we need to nip this in the bud. And I'm going to Hawaii at the end of June, so we need to really like get this on track. But at least we have Love Island. Let's get ready with me together.
In her latest TikTok video, Akaash Singh's wife basically admitted she forced him to quit the Flagrant podcast. Now, she starts off the video complaining about the whole internet calling her a whore, and then says she went and talked to her therapist, and she blamed the toxic environment and said, thank God now we're out of that toxic environment. She's talking about the Flagrant podcast. And Andrew Schulz, who Akaash and her unfollowed on Instagram. Now she's blaming the podcast and not herself. So obviously she talked to her therapist, and I think this was the same conversation in which is the other point of her video where she details her IVF journey. She's doing IVF not because she's not capable of getting pregnant, but because, and she made another TikTok video about this, she was having sex with Akaash and she freaked out and just told him to hurry up. He couldn't finish, and now they're doing IVF because she is disgusted by him. And why shouldn't she be? He is a simp, of course. But she says everything is better now that they're out of the toxic environment. But she's still doing the same thing. She's still making the TikToks and everything. She's 100% talking about the podcast. She blames the podcast for all the backlash and everything, not herself. her going on the internet and talking about popping it for the white boys at the frat houses, her embarrassing Akaash. That has nothing to do with it. It was the toxic environment of the Flagrant podcast, in which he completely pretty much disappeared from. He came back for the one episode with her that did not go over well, but of course she blames that. By the way, everything else in this video at the end there where she was like, I'm going through the struggle. It's so hard, doing date nights and going shopping and I got to fly here. And it's like, this is how soulless and evil this person is. Like, like if I was going to write a supervillain and they said what she said, I'd be like, come on, that's too over the top. No one could lack that much self-awareness. No woman could lack that much self-awareness. I mean, even if you look at someone like Brendan Schaub's wife, she's a dummy. I mean, she actually did go to her kid's school and do career day, not having a job, and wrote that she was an influencer. But at least she doesn't embarrass Schaub, and that's her whole thing. Jasleen Singh, her whole wannabe influencer career is exposing her husband. Even by doing this IVF journey. Hey, dummy, you do know that you told us that story where you're basically disgusted and won't have sex with your husband, so that's why you're doing IVF, right? She realizes the only clicks she can get is shitting on Akaash. And she made a video about that, complaining about content creators getting more views than her, talking about her. So she is aware of it. That's why she keeps doing it. But she forced him to quit that podcast because of the toxic environment and not her running her mouth, because she knew she wasn't going to stop. Even when Akaash said that thing where I told her to dial it back, she did for about 2 weeks. But even then, during her TikToks, because I was watching, she was complaining that she was being silenced, that she didn't get her side out. So she went to Akaash and said, you're going to quit your podcast and it's all going to be about me. She keeps using the word we. We sold out Radio City. When we got out of that environment, she made Akaash quit that podcast and she said, we got out of that environment, as if she was a member of the podcast. Whoa, dude. Akaash, you fucked up royally. And, I mean, he thinks he's right, I guess. I mean, ultimately, when she does leave him, it'll probably dawn on him, but then it will be too late. Although, she allowed to leave him? Do they do something to her in that culture if she leaves him or something? I don't know. I have no idea. But let me know your thoughts in the comments.